Anyway, let's get into this topic now. So my brother sent me this, and a couple other people have sent me this. A lot of people sent me this. As you guys know, Larry Wheels, very accomplished fitness influencer. This is his wife. Apparently, she said some shit.
Be something we have to consider in the future. I haven't checked my sperm count. Would you be open to adopting something?
I mean, we have other options, so probably I wouldn't want to adopt. It has to be somebody who looks like.
Okay, so she's clearly Eastern European from her accent. Chat, where's this chick from? She's got to be from like Russia, Ukraine, Moldova, Romania. She's Poland, maybe. This chick is definitely Eastern European. Where's she from? Serbia? Yeah, okay, fair. I was gonna say Serbia next.
Like you, so maybe we get sperm from the rock.
You know what? Let me just play this one time.
We have to consider in the future.
Let me play this one time all the way through for you guys, and then I'll react to it after. Let's do that. All right, so I'll play it one time through, then we'll give the analysis. Oh, and just so you guys know, with the whole clavicular thing, the person I was talking, that was the prosecutor. The prosecutor was arguing keeping him in, right? Because as a flight risk or whatever, which is bullshit, right? But that was the prosecution arguing with the defense. The defense did a good job because, like, hey, bro, like, even if he gets convicted of this thing, he's probably going to get probation. So, like, why are you going to hold him in when the most serious charge ain't even going to hold him in, assuming he gets convicted? So I think that was the strongest point that his lawyer made. And his lawyer also made the argument, hey, he's willing to stay in Arizona if he has to. And he has the funds to do so. So he was able to spin, right, what that woman was saying, what the lawyer was saying back at her and be like, well, look, yeah, he has money to leave, but he also has money to stay, right? So that really helped out. So the lawyer did a good job, man. Lawyer did a decent job. All right, we're going to play this one time through without any commentary. Then I'll give commentary after.
Future. I haven't checked my sperm count. Would you be open to adopting something?
I mean, we have other options, so probably I wouldn't want to adopt. It has to be somebody who looks like you, so maybe we get sperm from the rock.
I'm a fan of The Rock, but no.
Well, what's wrong? Like, if you're infertile, he just can be a donor, not actually doing anything. He can be a donor, so we have somebody that resembles you.
I'd have a hard time raising someone else's kid. I don't care who it is, even in The Rock. I don't care who it is.
Would you say really no?
Adoption might be something we have to consider in the future. I haven't checked my sperm count. Would you be open to adopting something?
Okay, so let's go through this, right?
I mean, we have other options, so probably I wouldn't want to adopt. It has to be somebody who looks like you, so maybe we
So you have the two facial things. They say, look at Larry Will's face.
get sperm from the rock.
I'm a fan of The Rock, but no.
Well, what's wrong? Like, if you're infertile, he just can be a donor, not actually doing anything. He can be a donor, so we have somebody that resembles you.
So, look, this is a perfect example of like when you're famous, and this is gonna be tough for a lot of people to accept, but when you're famous, right, and you got like a big platform, you gotta like media train your girl, right? Like what she said here is absolutely retarded and unacceptable, right? And I get what she's saying, but it's inappropriate. Oh, we need someone that looks like The Rock. That's like you. It's like it's kind of like a compliment, but not really, right? And this comes also from, you know, here's another thing also about like Eastern European women. They are very cold, chat. Okay, they're very cold, and a lot of times some of them can't read the room properly, right? So he clearly said no, and then she says, "Oh, but what is the problem?" Right? Like it goes into it again. Stupid, absolutely stupid. Also, these Eastern European women, besides the fact that they're cold and they can't read the room, they look at men as expendable commodities for real. Okay, Russian chicks, Colombian chicks, Ukrainian chicks, like these girls from these countries, a lot of the times tend to look at men as like wallets and like sperm donors. Okay. This is why you got to be very cautious around chicks like this, right? This is the dark side of being a passport bro. And then you got to understand also, when you have these girls, right, and they're in the United States, now their predatory nature is amplified even more so. Okay? Now it's even more so because what would have been fine in Colombia, you making 50K and sending her some money or whatever, or you living there, you bring her to the US, right? Now her standards are going to go up alongside that. And that, but the problem is that her standards go up alongside it, but the standard is not changed. So the standards went up, but the metric hasn't changed. Does that make sense? So, or actually, I'll say it the other way around. The metric has went up, but the standard hasn't changed because now you're in a different country. So she's still going to want that quality of life that you guys had in Colombia, right? Where you're living like, limousine riding, jet flying, woo, right? Ric Flair type shit. In the States, which is going to be triple to 4x that, right? If you make $100,000 a year living in Colombia, you could live like you're a fucking millionaire, right? Like it's damn near 5 to 10x the money, like the quality of life wise. That's why people become passport bros, chat. They go to Thailand, they go to Colombia, they go to fucking Brazil, they go to Eastern Europe. Big reason why is because your money goes 10 times further. That's why I tell y'all all the time, don't bring these girls back, bro. Do not bring these girls back to America. There's no benefit to that shit. Okay? So, in this situation, right, she's not media trained properly. She says something stupid. You could tell he doesn't like it. And then she goes into it again.
I have a hard time raising someone else's kid. I don't care who it is, even in The Rock. I don't care who it is.
Would you say really no?
Adoption might be something we have to consider in the future. I haven't checked my sperm count. Would you be open to adopting something?
I mean, we have other options. So.
Also, a conversation like this, I wouldn't have on camera. You know what I mean? I get it. Like, Larry Wills really likes to be transparent with his audience and shit. I remember years ago, dude, he made a video admitting that he was, like, addicted to porn. He had, like, a porn addiction, like OnlyFans. And I give him credit for that because a lot of guys go through that shit. But, man, that was wild. He was spending, like, tens of thousands of dollars a month, chat. Like, 50K, something wild, I remember. He was spending on OnlyFans girls. Right? So, I get it. I respect the transparency. But yeah, this is not having a conversation like this online is not a good idea 9 out of 10 times.
Probably I wouldn't want to adopt. It has to be somebody who looks like you, so maybe we get sperm from The Rock.
So she thought that would be funny, right? Like, haha, cute. Like, but she doesn't realize like what? That's not cool, right? Now he plays it off cool, right? Doesn't want to come off as like the butthurt boyfriend or whatever and be all crazy on camera. I'm assuming this was live streamed, right? But you could tell he's like, nah, man, I'm good. Hell nah.
I'm a fan of The Rock, but no.
Well, what's wrong? Like if
and then she asks this stupid ass question: What is wrong? Why?
You're infertile. He just can be a donor.
So the other thing too is that this also tells me that he hasn't put a lot of boundaries up with her, right? So like, I'll give you an example. So like, if you put boundaries on your girl, if you put certain boundaries on your girl, she's gonna know certain shit that she says is unacceptable. Does that make sense, chat? So, for example, if you have like let's say you have a rule, right? Like your girl, you don't let her hang out with her thought friends, right? And she can't go outside after, 8 p.m. without you, right? I'm just coming up with some random ass rule, right? Well, you could presume that more than likely, she's not going to want to, her asking you to go to the club where her girlfriend's going to be out of the question, right? Like you don't let her hang out with her friends and you don't let her go out without you after 8 p.m. So she's simply not going to ask you to go to the club with her friends, right? It's out of the question. Because if she can't do those two things, her going to the club is like, what? Like, that's the combination of the two. So her asking a question like this, right, tells me that he might have not put up enough boundaries with her so that she would know that, yo, this is, why the fuck are you asking something so stupid, right? Right? And the thing too also, right, is, and I'm being charitable here with Larry, and I'm going to explain why. When you're a celeb, right? When you're a celeb, when you're someone that's famous, right? You got a platform, a lot of people watch you and shit, right? You have to be a bit more careful about how you do things, right? Now, let me give you an example. There's a lot of people that watch me that apply the methodologies that I teach and treat women the way that I do, but they're famous and you would never know, right? But they have to be cautious about how they do it because that isn't on brand. Does that make sense, chat? So there are famous men out there, right? Whether they're athletes, successful businessmen, whatever, that apply, right, red pill tactics, or I don't even want to use the term red pill, but like they're red pilled on females. They understand women and they move accordingly. So they put hard boundaries. They have standards. They hold their girl to a fucking to a standard. They put their feet to the fire. They put their women through their paces. They train them. They do all that shit, right? Now, they publicly, right, don't show this. And the reason why they don't show this is because you guys got to understand that we live in a gynocracy, okay? We live in a gynocracy. And what I mean by this gynocracy, this gynocentric social order, is the way women think and the way women do things is the right way, okay? So since the women way, and I'm sorry guys, I feel really sick today. I know I'm not all there right now. I feel like joining the fucking flu games, but I'm here, right? They put them through their paces, etc. Now, they have to keep this a secret because holding women accountable or holding women to a standard is considered extremely taboo and bad, okay? Now, it's bad enough if you're a normie, nigga. Like, if you're a fucking mechanic or an electrician or whatever, you're like a regular guy, regular job, right, stockbroker, whatever, it's bad enough to be aware at that level. When you're a celebrity, it's even worse, right? Now, I could tell from Larry's reaction here that he's absolutely red pill aware. He's on the internet. He understands what the red pill is. He understands what Sims are, etc. Right? And that's why he gave that response that he gave. Right? He also understands pornography. He used to have a porn addiction, so he knows how these bitches are. I'm sure he's probably taking down a bunch of these, like, thoughts or whatever. Right? But he probably hasn't translated that awareness to his girlfriend yet. That's why she said something so stupid on camera. Okay? He probably hasn't translated that thing over. Now, and I'll tell you why. And this is like very nuanced, very like particular. But what I've noticed, like a lot of famous guys, right? Especially famous guys that are aware. And I've known this because I've talked with many of them privately about this behind the scenes. They have to be careful about moving this way with their woman because they don't want their girl to go do an interview, right? Or they don't want like their girl to put it out there or for it to get out there that her man is controlling, right? Or anything like that publicly until he has her fully trained. Does that make sense, chat? Because you guys got to understand in today's world, right? Since we live in a gynocracy, if you tell your girl, hey, I don't want you hanging out with your top friends, or hey, I don't want you going to clubs, or hey, I got to approve your outfits before you go, or hey, I want to make sure that I'm with you at night or whatever. This is control. This is considered controlling by Western standards. I want to make this explicitly clear. In America, in the UK and Canada, right? Anywhere where feminism is prominent, putting standards on your woman is considered controlling. Okay? In the pejorative. All right? So as a famous guy that has some status and you have a fan base, the last thing you want is for your girl to run around and say that you're fucking controlling. You get that? Now, the other thing you guys got to understand is that Larry Wheels is in the fitness industry. We already know how the fitness industry is. They're fucking cocked. Okay? They worship women in the fitness industry. And the reason why they worship women in the fitness industry is because women, surprisingly, account for like 70 to 80% of the merchandise sales. Bitches love leggings and shorts, okay? And supplements. So women surprisingly spend a lot of money in the fitness industry, right? And fitness has become recently cool with women. I would say over the past 10 years, women going to the gym has exploded in popularity. Thanks to Gymshark and thoughts on the internet and girls like, taking videos of themselves, whatever. A lot of girls go to the gym just to film themselves, if I'm going to be honest. Half these bitches don't even work out. Don't even get me started on this whole fucking girls in the gym. Okay? Don't even get me started on that. That's a whole other fucking conversation. Now, the other thing also with Larry Wheels, and I know this because he had a domestic violence scare a couple of years back. I don't know if you guys know this. Like, apparently he got into like a fight with his girl, and she made this allegation, she lied, whatever. He had to put out a whole thing refuting her, and he was able to save his reputation. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you guys this because he's not able to train his girls openly, right? And as overtly as someone like me or a you. Okay? He's got to do it cautiously. Now, unfortunately, since he has to do it cautiously, you end up with shit like this, right? Now, I'm not saying like, I'm not, trying to make excuses for him or whatever, but I am being, I'd be remiss to not take all factors in that I'm aware of. I remember when this girl made that accusation against him years ago, saying that he like abused her or some shit like that. She was fucking lying. I remember the pornography addiction. Like I've followed him for a minute, so it would be disingenuous of me to not take all this into account as to why he's probably moving so cautiously with the girl that he has now. And why he probably hasn't went like full on like red pill, like, hey, bitch, you can't do this, you can't say that, blah, blah, blah. Because in the fitness industry, it's dominated by women. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. It's a big reason why I fucking don't want to be in that shit. It's dominated by women. Women run shit. Dude, like a lot of these fitness influencers got to fucking bite their tongue when they're around me. They can't have me on whatever because their business is like 80% of the sales is women, right? So this is a big reason why I'm not a fan. Shout out to D-Cell with the gifted. So now let's look through let's look at the totality of the circumstances. Has a girl, right? He's famous. She's a fitness influencer as well. They're having a very sensitive conversation publicly. He's been through it before, the meat grinder with women before, with scandals, all this other bullshit, right? The porn stuff, everything else like that. He's in an industry that's extremely sensitive to women, right? Where just one allegation of him being controlling could really hurt him. Is he going to full on tell a chick, hey, bitch, you can't go outside, you can't do that? Probably not, right? He's not going to, man, my boy firing up a storm right here. Sorry, guys. I had eggs earlier. Anyway, so I'm fucking cooked, man. I'm so cooked, chat. But I'm here, though. I got y'all, man. Like I said, I'm Jordan with the flu games. So anyway, you can't go full on Captain fucking Red Pill, bro. You just can't. Okay? You just can't, nigga. You simply can't. Because if you go full on Red Pill, you're gonna be cooked. Especially when you're fucking famous, especially when you're in the fitness industry, especially when you got the kind of money that he has, especially when you've had the scandals that he's had. Like, you gotta be fucking like on point and not get your reputation destroyed. But what sucks is he didn't trade her fast enough, clearly. Right? Because she's saying dumb shit like this on air.
Not actually doing anything. Just he can be a donor, so we have somebody that resembles you.
I'd have a hard time raising someone else's kid.
Yeah, for him to say that, that's a red pill take right there. Right? Like you only red pill aware niggas say shit like that. I'm not raising somebody else's kid. Because just so you guys know, being a stepfather is an extremely like normie take that a lot of guys are okay with. Anytime a dude says, oh, I'm not okay taking care of someone's kid, that's how I know that they're aware. Does that make sense, chat? So that's how I knew right away when he said that I couldn't raise somebody's kids. I was like, all right, this nigga's watching red pill content. And he's on the internet, so he's going to know. And somebody did mention that he mentioned he want to like come on the show, whatever, which I'd be happy to have him. But yeah, he's gotta kick it into speed here with her. You know, Larry, you gotta take the wheels off, bro. You gotta tell her what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, what she can say on camera, what she can't. And then honestly, I'd keep these girls off. I'd keep my girl off camera more. You know, until she's trained. Until she's trained, of course.
Who it is, even in The Rock. I don't care who it is.
Would you say really no?
Adoption might be something we have to consider in the future. I haven't checked my sperm count.
So yeah, that's what I think it is, bro. That's what I think it is. I think he's red pill aware clearly because he said, I'm not going to raise another man's kid. She said a stupid ass question, put him in a weird spot. But he needs to train his girl a bit more, especially on camera. She can't be saying shit like this on camera, bro. You're the star. She's not, bro. You know? Like, Larry, you got to pull her to the corner and be like, yo, look. You can't be saying this shit on fucking camera. Are you stupid? What the fuck is wrong with you? Right? Like, you can't be saying this shit. Now, again, he's not going to get too much heat for this, right? Because in the industry that he's in, which is run by women, like, this is not that big a deal, right? Like, you guys got to remember, too, also, like, you guys got to remember that in the normie world, this is acceptable conversation, okay? That's why she thought it was okay for her to say this stupid shit. In the normie world, this is acceptable conversation. All right, even though we're like, hell now, what the fuck? In the normie world and in the fitness industry, women run shit. So they can say dumb shit like this. All right? So, yeah. Larry, get her in line, bro. You're the star. She's not. There's 1,000 hers. There's only one of you. You know, just like Kanye said, well, Kanye famously said, there's 1,000 yous. There's only one of me. Like, hey, man. Don't be afraid to train your chick, bro. Don't be afraid to train your chick. I get it. You've had past controversies and shit like that. But you're the star, bro. These bitches are just living in our shit. You know, I don't like when women, right, embarrass their guy who is significantly more higher profile than them by saying stupid shit like this. I just don't like it. It pisses me off. Okay, let's see here. Let's read chats.